Hi, my name's Ian, and I'm responsible for the software.
Hey, I'm Pradeep, and I'm responsible for the software.
Hi, my name is Pooja, and I worked on the hardware.
My name's Anirudh, and I worked on the hardware.
For our 362 project, we created a single-player game called Button Hero. Our game is based on the same rules applied in Guitar Hero. The game is based on an input song that the user can choose on their phone. According to the beat in the music, different notes from the song will fall across the 3 rows of red LEDs. The user has to hit the correct push button right when the note reaches the green LEDs at the bottom of the rows. The score on the LCD will accumulate as the player continues to hit the correct push buttons, but will decrement by 1 when he or she hits the wrong button. The game will continue until the player hits the wrong push button. If he or she successfully continues to match the beat continuously, the game will continue on until either the song ends or the player has reached the max game score of 100.
During the initial build process, we split up the game development into hardware tasks and software tasks. Anirudh, Ghantasala, and Pooja Kale were responsible for building the hardware for the circuit. There were 4 stages in hardware development. The first stage was developing the schematic for the circuit on a whiteboard, and ordering and gathering the main parts of our circuit such as the micro, shift registers, PLD, push buttons, LCD, and LEDs. The second stage was to build a circuit and test the input song with an experimental sine wave to see if the shift registers were shifting the light across the LEDs correctly. The third stage was to write down the final peripherals and pin connections we used and inform the team members working on software. The final stage was to build the PCB and incorporate it.
Pradeep and Ian Lioe were responsible for the software development of the game. There were 3 stages in software development. The first stage was to develop a flowchart for the code using the pins and peripherals established in the hardware. The second stage was to write the pseudocode. The third stage was to test the code with the circuit. This is where both parts of our game came together. This stage was the longest because we found most of our errors for the software and hardware at this point. Our last project step was to play the game several times to find concept errors in our game and fix them.
The focus of our packaging was to encase our hardware of the game, providing it with a stable base and protecting it from the elements, without disrupting the simplistic environment of the game, making the game as simple and playable as possible. Upon first glance, one notices the transparency of box, exposing the underlying mechanisms of the game. Unlike flashy packaging which could distract those playing the game, this undecorated and revealing design attracts both ECEs and their best friends from another majors to the device, while at the same time not being the center of concentration when they decide to play. People are addicted to the adrenaline rushes from games relying on reaction speed rather than wit and strategy. Tetris, Pong, Flappy Birds, if history has taught us one thing, it's that the most addictive games are the ones that are most simple to play.